Hello everyone and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 3. We are still playing as Djibouti in our random Hearts of Iron map. It is the 13th of November, 1938, and we are just about done with our little drive right through the center of the Republic of the Moluccas. Now, I did go back and look at the initial starting setup for this game, and this northern part of the country is... I mean, the Republic of the Moluccas do have claims on some of it, but they don't have claims on other parts of it. So, even if we do puppet the Republic of the Moluccas, they won't have claims on a lot of this northern stuff up here, which will lead to it having unrest and being less efficient and all of that fun stuff. But I'm not really too worried about that. What this does mean is that they, at one point or another, won a war. So I guess good on them. But yeah, I think we're sitting pretty up north here. We're doing pretty well on our little front down south, and I think we're just basically going to continue to advance all across the line, basically as far as we possibly can. We are currently attacking up north with the supporting attack from down here, trying to move into Grand Town, take the rest of their supplies from their capital, as well as take all these victory provinces. We're moving in on this one, and it's not too far away from us taking these two. And then it's really just Killarney down here in the south of Ireland, and I think we should be able to enforce our demands on Romania. Let's just double check, make sure we have all the right war goals. We do. Install communism, puppet, and retake our cores. It's really all that we need. So as soon as we're done with this advance up here, just beat all of their troops one last time, and then push them back as far as possible. I think we should be sitting pretty. You know, no real problems there. Now we are still actively engaged in the rush to the front here. We do have the entirety of the 12th Corps strategically redeploying to the middle of our little salient here, just so that they can support the advance. We just took the only victory province directly owned by Ethiopia, so they are at 100% surrender progress, and we don't actually have any war goals on Ethiopia, and I really don't want this. I mean, do I want this land? No, I don't want this land, but I don't want Ethiopia to be our puppet either. So I think what I'm going to do is do a conquer on Ethiopia, and then once we puppet the Republic of the Moluccas, we'll use a return territory button over here, which hopefully functions properly, to return this land to the Republic of the Moluccas, and they may turn around and release Ethiopia, at which point we'll have a puppet of a puppet. But it's not our problem at that point, so I'm not too worried about it. So we are still going to continue pushing forward. We have 2 tanks here, but we don't really have the infantry support for them just yet. So I don't feel too comfortable moving both of them up. And we're also moving into the hills, where we're going to start running into some pretty significant terrain penalties for our tanks that are undertaking this advance. But it's not the worst thing in the world. Yeah, let's switch those two around here. We're just going to go through and make sure that everybody is moving forward. Just like that. We're moving 1 infantry division into this province, and we can move the other one forward. Keep the other one here. Yep, okay, sounds good. So now we can move this guy elsewhere, like over to here. Sounds fine. We just took this province. We are engaged in this province. We've almost won, and we have 2 tanks here. So let's just shuttle them over up this way, I guess. Yeah, sounds fine to me. Let's unpause the game. We'll go at speed 3 for now, just because, yeah, we are going to get some counterattacks going on. Whoa, okay. We've got an interesting little battle going on up here in Den Helder. We're doing just fine, though, because they have that amphibious penalty. They're attacking from this island over here. So they're probably going to break that off fairly soon. We have just pushed them out of the salient here, so we are moving our line up to the river. This province isn't as well taken as I'd like, so let's support the attack here from the side. That'll be just fine. Wonderful. We've won this battle, and by battle I mean we pushed the HQ division out of there, and yeah, there's the annexation of Ethiopia. Just wait while the game processes that. There we go. Now the Ethiopian division should be all gone. Now that will not represent a very significant reduction in the total overall strength of the Republic. But it's still a nice thing. We do now own directly all of this territory over here, which I suppose is okay. Not really that excited about it, but hey, whatever works. So we're going to start pushing north and south, like this, and you can go down here, and you can go over there, and you can come up here. Oops, yep, too bad, yep, okay. And you can just kind of come over here. That looks good for now. We'll move on later. Won the battle in Djibouti, which is fine. I'd like to push him out of this province just to shorten our line a little bit, so let's begin that. Oh, you're currently defending? No, okay, but you can't attack either, so this is going to be a little fight. You are not going to do too hot, but we do outnumber you, and one of you isn't having the same negative penalties, so we should be able to win that just from strength of numbers, and then we'll do a supporting attack from this province, just so that we can push them. Get the line just a little bit shorter. And everything should be fine. We are starting to run out of fuel in this direction, which is a little bit worrying. I can't really count on you to do any real attacking yet. And you're only moving at less than 1 kilometer per hour due to your lack of fuel, so we do need to pay attention to that. So we've got a nice front down here. It looks like we accidentally have a tank still down here, so let's push you forward. And we've got one infantry division chilling in this province, not really doing much of anything, so we'll move you over to Ansbach. Let's see, the rest of you all have... Oh, you're a tank. You're moving to Ansbach. You're moving to Ansbach. Let's move you down here. And you're a tank, you're a tank. Okay, good stuff, good stuff. So we'll move infantry into Ansbach, and then over here into Eichstatt. And forgive me if any of this is sounding like swear words. It's just me trying to pronounce German names. I swear. So, we have the 12th, this is the 12th Corps, right? Yeah, the 12th Corps of Infantry are now on the line, and we will be moving the tank divisions up in support of each other here. Speaking of in support of each other, let's try to take Plauen and see if we can get that airfield on these, on this front line here. And now these infantry aren't going to be too useful in the immediate sense just because of their lack of organization at this point, but we will deploy them. Actually, we're doing fine on that front, so yeah, this should be good. We've got everybody moving except for one division here, and we'll move the HQ back behind the front line just so that it doesn't get completely obliterated while we weren't paying attention to it. And this is a little bit more worrying. They are doing some pretty major counterattacks up here. Yeah, we're not going to be able to defend here, even though we do have the dig-in bonus and the experience bonus, and they are taking negative fort modifiers. We just do not have the positioning up here. He's being attacked from basically 5 sides. So yeah, we're going to pull out of there, and I think we're going to move another infantry division up over here to Zwal just so that they can't continue that little advance of theirs. And yeah, I do sort of need to pay attention to this front, don't I? Let's do 1 division up here, 2 over there, and we'll advance with you and support with you, see how that works out. Decently okay fight. We are fighting some tough battles, especially up in this general area, although they are about to be forced to break off their supporting attack here just by virtue of having wasted all of their organization already. So this attack will continue even though we are... I mean, we're doing okay, but they are putting up a tough fight in the province of Sterling. We sort of expected that, though. And our interceptor is on air superiority, so they should be intercepting this. Hopefully. It doesn't look like they are, actually. Maybe we should do a more centralized air intercept. Yeah, I think they are focusing the majority of their air power over in this area, so let's center the air intercept on Scotland, rather than have them focus on Ireland. Yeah, that sounds fine. Now, Plauen. We are fighting a tough battle in Plauen, because we have tanks attempting to advance into the hills. Now, they only have a garrison. division here, it looks like. Yeah, it's just the garrison. So we're just going to be able to force our way through eventually, but the garrison division will do some damage. And I think that it's official. We've cut the country in half. We've officially pushed all the way to the border of the, as of yet, neutral country, the Netherlands. So they are now, unless they're getting supplies by going through the Straits of Gibraltar and transporting supplies up north here to one of their ports, they are now completely cut off. Awesome. And we've researched Fleet Auxiliary Doctrine, which basically just means that we can now actually research naval base efficiency, which is something that we want, as well as cruiser crew training, because that's basically... actually, this is just heavy cruisers. Cruiser warfare, again, just heavy cruisers. Light cruiser crew training. Okay, this is another thing that we need to worry about. Let's just queue it up for now. We really do need to do our light tank research. We should be getting our first light tank researches done by the end of this year, but I think we need to do 2 more before we can actually start researching medium tanks. So that's going to be a thing that we need to worry about, but I feel fairly accomplished here. We've officially cut their country in half. Yep. And we're hiding behind the river now. If they want to take Regensburg down here, it's not giving us anything, so I'm not too worried about defending it. And we've just done another push here, so as long as we can take all of this territory in the middle here... How? You must have military access or something. Grants military access to the Republic of the Moluccas. Yep, okay, well... That's not cool, dude, Netherlands. I'm not appreciating that at all. But yeah, I think this is successful, and we can now... I think that the plan now is to hold this line and this line, and then begin to push into the north, basically. Reduce this as much as possible. And once we don't need to fight, you know, the entirety of the Republic Army, we should be doing okay. Okay, so now they are attacking up north in earnest. They've seen that we've basically not deployed anybody up north in support of our advance down into the south. I think this is... I mean, it's a good on them to notice what we're doing, what we're planning here. But I think that we will be able to do some pretty significant damage up north, preferably while preventing them from advancing anywhere into the south. And yeah, this is we're actually losing a lot of organization here. They're actually pushing rather effectively. Now, we are outnumbered for 5-1, and we don't have any reserves anymore. We've deployed all of our reserves already, except for the infantry that we've just deployed, the 14th and 15th Corps, which are not up to combat snuff yet, but I think that we will need to actually deploy them. Oh, and the 13th Corps. Once again, they're not fully reorganized yet. Not even close to fully reorganized, but I think we will actually need to deploy them to the front line, just to prevent any nonsense from happening. So we'll do 3 in Akmar, and we'll put the HQ and 1 corps there and 1 corps there. We can move, sorry, division there. We can move them up if need be, and then we're going to deploy these guys to the rear here as well. Don't really want to throw them into straight-up combat just yet, but if need be, we'll make do with the infantry divisions that we have. So you guys can come up to Arnhem. 2, 3, and we'll deploy you back here. Yep, sounds good. So we are being pushed back in the north. I mean, there are worse things that can happen. I think that this is... Like, I am willing to give up land in the north up here if it means that this little operation we're doing down here is successful. Speaking of operations being successful, we do need to pay attention to this combat, which is not necessarily going too hot. It's looking like we're going to be able to push him back, though, without too much in the way of difficulty. Oh, he was defending there, wasn't he? And now he's retreating. That was potentially horrible. Anti-aircraft barrel and ammunition is done. I guess that's cool. I'm a little bit pissed that we were researching that, because that's just our garrison brigades that are any good. Okay, so what I did is I saw that he wasn't moving, so I told him to attack, and in fact, because he was defending and I didn't realize it, he's now retreating into this province, which is enemy controlled. So if the Romanians or the Moluccans get a division into that province before we retreat into that province, this unit is going to get squished. Just completely die. Sort of horrible, honestly. Okay, mass assault is more morale for our infantry, which is great. Gonna continue researching that. Yeah, no real discussion really necessary there. We are now within one province, basically within 25 miles of their capital. I think we will continue the advance here. This battle in Stirling is causing some heartache, I've got to say, but we're going to continue moving forward, pushing on. And we are still pushing into the south down here, which is fantastic. Going to do one of these things, and one of these. Yep, good. Alright, good stuff. Irish front, going fine. We are going to finish up here. I don't like that you're moving south. I'm not entirely certain what you're actually doing. But yeah, we're going to hide behind the river here for now. On our southern line here. How's the infrastructure over here? Not too good. These oh, they're damaged. Okay. They'll get repaired eventually. So yeah, we're going to basically hide behind this river, which is really nice and goes all the way across our entire southern front down here. And then we're going to sort of shift north and push from the south. How's that quote-unquote retreating infantry division doing? You are going to get into this province on the 28th because it is now November and we are in Scotland. So all of these advances we're doing are in frozen ground with freezing temperatures. You know, that's probably part of the reason we're having so many problems here in Stirling. We've got a negative 55% penalty to terrain, negative 50 to weather, negative 50 because it's at night. It might just be better for us to call off the advance. Ooh, multi-role fighters. Fantastic. Just waiting for those. I'm actually going to queue up like 6 of them right now because we have excellent practical and I don't want it to go to waste. So yeah, we're going to queue up an immediate order of 6 wings of multi-role fighters. Fantastic. Being attacked in Newtonmore, which is this province right here, 1 province away from their capital. Being counterattacked in Donegal. We've won Newtonmore and we've won Donegal. Alright, well that was relatively easy. Can't really complain about that. And I think, yeah, we're just going to tell our dudes to continue pushing. Attack in support of that attack. And this is a little bit of a problem. But if they want to use their organization on attacking me, then we will use that advantage to attack from the side. You'll get there on the 23rd. So just looks like a day and a half and we'll be able to do a counterattack there on an already weakened division. Sounds fine to me. Now what is this going on? Yeah, okay, we're not doing too hot in this area at all. Let's attack from another angle without that river crossing penalty. Sounds fine to me. And you guys are also going to get into this province, so I think we will solve the problem of attacking in winter with strength of numbers. Basically, we're just going to throw ourselves harder against the wall. And now, if we can, I would love to push in here. Let's do a test attack. First, we're going to attack north, just so that we can get the nice surround going on. And then, yeah, let's do a small, just little scouting attack here. See how we're doing. See if they'll just let us walk in. And it looks like they've only got a weakened infantry division and a general garrison division in this province. I think we'll keep the pressure up. If we can just force our way into this province, all we need to do then is take Lossiemouth and then Stirling. Stirling is actually worth more points than both of these provinces combined, so it does make sense that they're putting a lot into their defensive Stirling. And then once we get down here to Cavalry, that will be the next good step. So we are going to start Once again, shifting north, shifting north. You're fine, you're fine. Yep. Actually, shift north. We've got 2 divisions here. One is infantry, so let's shift the tank north. One is infantry, let's shift the tanks north. And we've got 1 extra division over here in this province. Let's just redeploy you down over here, just in case we need you over there. That'll be fine. Doing good, doing good, doing good. Yep, alright. Let's just, let's redeploy a little bit to the north. We might not really have the force of motion up in this direction. We may not have local superiority over here, but I do think it's one of those things where they're going to start having serious supply issues. And we can even call on Latvia to help. All this territory up here is not our core, so really we're only interested in this stuff, which is our core. So yeah, I think we're doing just fine. Now, we did lose the Battle of Den Helder up here. They did push our lone infantry division out completely. We used all of its organization, but we only lost about 1,250 of our 10,000 troops, and they attacked us with 5 times as many and lost over twice as many. So I think it was a good fight for us to take. Now, the infantry divisions we have defending here are already disorganized. They are regaining their organization. They're basically at full combat strength, but they're not combat organized. And it's going to be the same deal with our backup line down back here. Ooh, tank destroyers. Fantastic. Okay, so we are beginning to research to get our light tank research. We can... Can we build tank destroyers now, or was that just research? Yeah, we can actually build tank destroyers now. So, what we're looking at here with our cavalry. For our armored, I think this is good. I think we'll slap an engineer. No, we want self-propelled artillery before we start building this. We can't even build medium armor anyway, so that'll be fine. And for our cavalry, I think we're going to nix the light armor idea. I think we have plenty of light armor. We're going to get our hardness instead of from light armor from our tank destroyer. Going to nix the armored car idea, and I think we're just going to throw another motorized division on there. And once we get superior firepower tech, which is right here, once we get this tech, which we actually need to start researching, and yeah, we should have been researching this basically all along. Once we get this, we'll be able to throw another brigade in this division, which will allow us to then add either an engineer or another armored car, just to keep our speed going with these cavalry. But I think these motorized tank destroyer divisions are going to be good. It's got really high hard attack and a decently high soft attack, comparatively speaking. I mean, compared to an infantry, it doesn't have as much soft attack, but that's because it doesn't have that artillery addition as well. And we have 21 defensiveness over here with this infantry, only 20 with these motorized tank destroyer, but the tank destroyer will get better. And our primary benefit of doing this is that we have less than 60% softness, whereas here is 97% softness. And the way this works, the way that the softness works is that every time that there is an hour tick that goes by, each of these divisions can attack either 5 times with their hard or 16 times with their soft. And which one of these numbers they use is dependent on the softness value of the enemy that they're fighting. So, if this unit were to be fighting another infantry unit with the exact same stats, which is highly unlikely, but if they were to be attacking another infantry unit with the same stats, there is a 97% chance that we would attack 16 times. And, you know, the damage done is based on their defensiveness and their armor and their toughness and all that fun stuff. But there's 16 potential attacks that we could do in that 1 hour tick, 97% of the time. But the other 3% of the time, we would actually be using our hard attack value to attack the enemy, rather than soft attack. Whereas for these cavalry, because we're making a much harder division, this unit attacking an enemy infantry would only attack with a soft attack of 13. So they would only use the 13 number against, let's say, one of these infantry 97% of the time. But because of their hardness, the infantry would be using their hard attack 44% of the time. So the infantry would 40% of the time only be using their 5 value to attack back against these cavalry. So I think that'd be a good addition, and they would be one step further on the line to getting mechanized infantry, which are even more. They have even more hardness, even more toughness, even more armor, which influences the actual amount of damage that's done and all that fun stuff. So I think we are going to go in that general direction, just because we have plenty of IC, plenty of oil, plenty of resources, but not plenty of manpower. That's our real issue here. So I think everything is going a-okay. Why can I not? Oh, we're already influencing a lot of these people. And by we, I'm guessing they're all trying to be influenced by us. We're not influencing Belgium. We got Crete on there, we got Guatemala on there, we got Tanzania on there, we got Formosa on there, Puntland. Let's influence Puntland. Sounds like a plan to me. Yeah, yep, no problem. No problem whatsoever. Okay, so we are redeploying in that area. Not worried too much about it. I think this retreat is basically going to act like a attack. The issue is that we're not regaining any organization while we're doing this, so this unit's going to be a little bit weak. Now that big old stack of people did end up moving into Den Helder, and there's absolutely zero way that we can do any counterattacks here with these weak infantry. So we're just going to need to basically take it on the chin up in this northern area. And we have a fleet. Light tank gun advance is always nice. We can start to actually sink upgrades into our motorized divisions, which is fantastic. So what were you? I don't know. But you're retreating up back to here, so we're gonna restart those port strikes, I'd say. But 3 transports, really? Okay, well, we'll destroy them then. I'm not even worried about that at all. Okay, so we got here. You're retreating to Mayo. We will continue to push, I think. Except I want one of you to go like this. Yeah, okay. And I want you, actually, to support the attack down here, because that's a river and you're a Marine. That'll be fine. Oh, you're both Marines. Okay, well, one of you can support the attack. One of you can continue pushing forward. And when are you going to get there again? The 26th? I feel like we've been waiting a long time. Yeah, you're going to get there right now. Okay, fine. Hey, we've won Sterling. Yeah, that was a little bit expensive. I mean, we were attacking with 80,000. They were defending with 50,000. And we lost a bit more than they did. But all in all, I think it's a good thing that we began that attack. We're doing fine up in the north here. We just took Sterling, which is a very important province. It's worth 42 points, which is more than their actual capital. We are moving in on Killarney, which I think we may actually need to take in order to force their surrender. And yeah, you retreated from that fight. Let's keep pushing forward. We'll get there. We'll get there eventually. Began this episode on the 18th of November. It's now the 25th of November, and we've been playing for about a half an hour. It's just, this game is just such a time sink. My goodness, it's fantastic. What are you? Brittany. Brittany. I wonder where the rest of your country is. Don't know. Okay, so we're doing fine. We've got everybody. Oh, where are you supposed to be? Well, let's sort of redirect you south so that we can redeploy one of these tank divisions. We have 2 tank divisions up here. Let's redeploy one of you over to here. Yeah, that'll be fine. We've been attacked in Deventer and Westerwick. There's Winterswick and Deventer. So they are, yeah, they're pushing up in the north. They're really worried, I think, about their situation down south. Broken off this attack, which is fine. If we want to attack somewhere else. How are you doing? You are being attacked 3-1. We could do a counterattack, though. That's not a problem. You guys are doing fine. Yeah, they'll break off that attack when they can't attack with the 2 units from this province. And I think we will not break off our attack, since we have basically 70% control of that new province already. getting good experience out of this, and they are not full strength, so we're losing provinces. Where are we losing provinces? Oh, right. This nonsense. Yeah. I think we just had an infantry division get squished. Yep. He got squished. Unable to retreat in time. That really sucks. Just sort of, you know, accident. But we'll build another one. And throw him to the top. Should be, what is it, less than 100 days? Yeah, we've got 97 days to wait until we've got a new infantry division up and running. It's unfortunate because one infantry division like that represents just about 12 manpower. So that's just 12 manpower we just completely lost. It's just gone. Like, there's nothing we can do. There's nothing we can... There's absolutely no recourse. But we are moving in. Their sacrifice will not have been in vain. We are pushing through the mountains of Scotland. We're basically all through the mountains. We might need to kick them out of Dunkeld, but that's not actually an important province, so I'm not too worried about it. We already have 4 infantry divisions moving into that province, so let's move you guys up here. And you I want over here, and you I want up here. Maybe we'll take revenge against this guy. We are still... Oh, that's their capital. We're still moving into Grandtown, that makes sense. Push down here, push over here. You guys are falling behind a little bit, I've got to say. But yeah, everything's going fine. Transport division's doing A-okay. We have more stuff than we know what to do with. Ooh, they're attacking us in the air. They destroyed us in the air. Wow. Well, let's get our interceptors down here. I didn't think that we were actually, Oh, I think we just wasted all of our... all of our organization on bombings, and we actually can't get over there. We don't have an airbase close enough to actually be able to support our frontline troops with our interceptors, which is sort of horrible. That's why we need these multi-role fighters. They've got much more range. It's much better. Although we are pulling off from our production to upgrade our light tanks. So I think that's fine. I'm really not going to complain too much about it. All right, but I'm going to take a break here. Thank you once again for joining me. The plan worked out well. It looks like they still have military access. Now, as far as I know, that doesn't mean supply access. That just means that they can transfer troops to and from the north and the south, which sort of sucks. It means we can't destroy any of their troops along this line here. So we want to take this line here as soon as possible, so they can't just retreat troops in and out of this territory. But that'll need to wait for next episode. So once again, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you all next time.